So the next lightning talk. So Raul Maldonado, correct? Yeah. Yes, fantastic. So takes two to clean data. All right, let's give a round of applause to Raul.
Good evening. So my name is Raul. I'm a data analyst, and I just want to briefly talk about data cleansing and just like this simple overview of it, since I'm limited amount of time. And so, have you ever asked this question before? So, why is my forecasting on some model underperform or overperform than you would expect? What is this random error that keeps occurring whenever you're trying to run some certain code, say in Jupyter Notebook, which I primarily run in? And why didn't my workflow fire, or why the heck did my workflow fire? And so this pertains to anyone that deals with CRMs or anything around that. And then what the heck is this? It's just a bunch of string, right? And it's just not you, it's the data, or maybe yourself. Regardless, it's time to do some spring cleaning. Huh? Okay, yeah. So this is basically a warm introduction, but I want to get down to is there's two perspectives of data cleaning, and in hindsight, it's kind of obvious. One, it's just having that business domain knowledge or having the knowledge of your data set itself, and then also the technical portion of it. That's primarily comes first. But you want to keep the initial part, which is the business and domain knowledge, in the back of your head. So yeah, again, that's trivial. And then, so in this case, so why is my forecasting model underperformed than expected? So this is a NBA data set, and you can web scrape it on nbareference.com or any other sites. It's like nba.com, for example. And what I did here is just simply just modify some of the data points, some of the major data points for some of the players. For these four right here. So it'd be a case like, okay, so if this is an active Twitter user, LeBron James is not, Kevin Durant's not, etc. Modifying this obviously gets different results than what you get. So then in this case, this is the misinformation, or the cases where I impeded the information, like I just mentioned. And the outliers, which are LeBron James and etc., are over here, where 0 being they are not a active Twitter user, which, if you look at your tweets right now, it looks like they are. And then here's the case over here for the correct information, where those outliers you didn't see earlier are there now. And what that does is, okay, so I had some information on the bottom which isn't captured there for some reason. But what it basically was showing two different models in comparison of their coefficients for that model, and how the case for the significant factor, which would be Twitter followers in that model, how it was skewed very much so. And so there's a large difference between the two coefficients when comparing the differences of these two models. Okay. And then second case would just be, value means. So in the case of having this business domain knowledge, again, this is an example of a YouTube data set. I did some data cleaning in from a Kaggle data set provided by Mitchell J. And in this data set, once you think something was provided to you, you would assume it'd be clean, like say for something also like from a data vendor. But if you notice in these scenarios or in these cases, the same video ID is there multiple times in this data set. And that was because of my own error. What I did was I appended different data sets for different countries into one and concatenated them. But what that did was allowed for duplicates. And then going through the analysis, I ended up at midway. I was like, oh shoot, should have done something. Should realize that there would have been duplicates, even though I did dedupe based on video ID. There was still So I didn't do quite correctly. Okay, and then so the third case is why did my workflow fire? Why the heck did my workflow fire? That would be just because there's this case of the dynamics within how workflow flows. So if you trigger something, something else would go through, and then your values would change ultimately throughout this whole process. And this right here is the fourth case. Is just the input of your data and converting it. So just making sure you imported it correctly. And that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Fantastic.